Now listen to the very next words out of Jesus Christ's mouth. Again, remember, these are the words of Jesus Christ himself. He who believes in him, that is the Son of Man, Jesus, is not condemned. But he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. My friends, the Bible teaches, and if you will read the Gospel of John, it teaches that we are born into this world with God's wrath hanging over our head. Condemnation is already over our head. My friends, I don't come out here to judge you. The judgment has already been made. We've all been judged and found guilty. We all fall under the righteous judgment of a holy and righteous God. Guilty, deserving of his wrath, hell. We come out of the womb with this wrath hanging over our head. And what the Bible teaches and what Jesus teaches is that the only way God's wrath can be taken off of us is if we believe in the Son, the name of the only begotten Son. If we believe the gospel. My friends, yes, the message of the cross is a narrow message. Jesus himself said that the way is broad and the road is wide that leads to destruction, but narrow is the way and small, basically, narrow is the path that leads to life. My friends, Jesus is the only way. He said in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. My friends, if this message sounds narrow, I must tell you it is narrow. But God can do that. God does not owe any single one of you or me salvation. God does not owe us mercy. That's what mercy is. Mercy is undeserved in its nature. Grace is favored. It is undeserved. My friends, we all deserve to go to hell. For God to provide one way to be saved is merciful. So for anybody to say, that's not fair that God only provided one way, my friends, that is the height of arrogance. That's not being tolerant. That's looking up at God himself and saying, your way is not good enough. I will not come to you by your way. What do you think he is God, the God of the universe, the God of who created you, is going to say to you in that day? When you look up into him and say, I will not come to you in that way. And not only that, but you basically trample underneath your feet the blood of his beloved Son, who came to give himself a sacrifice for you. What do you think the true and living God, the one who is alive, the one who is there, will do in that final day? My friends, this is why it's so important to think on these things. Jesus said, he is the way, the truth, and the life. He said it narrowly, yes, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. Now those aren't my words. Again, those are the words of Jesus Christ. He has a right to be narrow because he is God. He is the one that came to provide himself a sacrifice. So he can't say that. So let me read you these words again. Jesus said, he who believes in him, that is the Son of God himself, Jesus, is not condemned. But he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation. Listen to this condemnation. That light has come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. My friends, what Jesus is basically saying here, in another place, Jesus said, I am the light of the world. He who believes in me shall not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Jesus is the light. And the reason why anybody doesn't come to Jesus Christ is because they love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. These are the words of Jesus Christ. Again, he says, this is the condemnation, that light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. You see, my friends, these things weren't done in a corner. God has made himself very, very clear in his word. If you want to know what Jesus claimed to be, who Jesus claimed to be, what he claimed his mission was, all you have to read is the Gospel of John. It's very clear. You can't go to the Bible and say, well, God didn't make himself very clear. God made himself very, very clear. Jesus goes on to say, for everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, about us wanting to suppress the truth and unrighteousness. We don't want to be accountable because we know if we come to the light, our deeds will be exposed. Once you come and put your righteousness up against Jesus Christ, against God, we know that we're sinners. That's why, again, God gave the 10 Commandments, was to show us that we're not righteous. But the 10 Commandments, if you try to earn your righteousness by them, you will earn nothing but wrath. That's why the 10 Commandments should turn our eyes to Jesus. We should say, oh, I can't earn my way to salvation. I do need a Savior. This is very, very important. So he says, for everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God. What Jesus is saying here is, my friends, come to the light. Come to Jesus Christ. Come and have your deeds exposed. He knows everything you've done. If you're afraid to come to the light because you know you've done evil, he knows. He says, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Jesus at this time did not come into the world in order to condemn the world. He came to save the world. This is the gospel. You're not getting away with anything. God knows everything you've done. God knows everything I've